A lot of people here.
All right, guys, questions for Derek?
Derek, where would you say you're at with your progression to learning John's offense, and how much further do you have to go?
Oh, man, I feel like with him, I don't think there's going to be a time over the next 10 or so years where I'm not going to have something to learn. He pushes me every day. I'm constantly asking him, what do you got for me today? Give me something else, and those kind of things. But for where we're at right now, we feel very, very confident that we can go out and execute at a high level. We get a lot of plays, and I think we get more plays in than anybody in the league. And just getting those reps as a quarterback, just rep after rep after rep, there's really nothing like it.
What was the process like in the off season to get to this point?
Oh man, it was a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights. A lot of time just spent laying by the pool, studying. Anything and everything you think of. A lot of time with my wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. At just random parks. Just a lot of stuff. That's one thing we have done. That's one thing. As long as I'm here, we will work our tail off. And in the off season, during the season, during practice, all those things. And that's what we did, man. We're just trying to. We obviously want to be better than last year, but we want to be really good. And we understand that to do that, you have to work really hard.
Are you keeping like hours?
To an extent.
Yeah.
To an extent. I don't know if that man sleeps. I don't know if he's slept yet. He gets up, but yeah, no, I definitely have to. Him and I have to be on the same page. Him and I have to work the hardest out of anybody, out here. If the head coach and the quarterback are the hardest workers, usually that's a good recipe for. Doesn't mean it guarantees success, but it's a good recipe. And so, for us to continue to be that way, we carry that over from the off season. Absolutely.
So you obviously knew him a little bit before camp and announcing and stuff like that. Has anything about him surprised you? Being with him as much as you are now?
I don't know if anything with him surprises you. I will say this, that he has not changed one bit. Since the first time I met him at Gruden's QB camp till first day of actual training camp practice, he is the same person, and that says a lot, that he doesn't change. He's always fiery. He loves football. He wants to win. He loves his players. He loves his coaches, and he demands from you. I think all of those things are things that I knew about him that day and things that I know about him here 5 years later.
Derek,
Yeah, Colton is awesome. He's really tall. I think that's the first thing I noticed. Very tall, very athletic, can move, can run, and he's strong. You can tell that he put in a lot of work in the weight room before he came back. And that's for any college kid. I don't care how strong you are, you can always get stronger. And he put in all that work during that break, and he came back, and he's strong, ready to take those bull rushes. As a tall guy, that's coming. You know the bull rush is coming, but he's ready, and he looks really good.
Derek, we see Gruden out.
I'm sorry. What did I see in Jordy? I saw Jordy run good routes. He knew what he was doing. And he caught the ball. He's good. I tried to sneak one in on him today a little bit, but for the most part, we know what Jordy can do. And the thing that you hear about that he can't run anymore, that's false. I can tell you, he's one of the fastest skill guys that we have still. He can run, and you see that by his route running. If he can win on underneath routes, that means DBs are scared of what he can do over the top. So, he's still Jordy Nelson, that's for sure.
Derek, we see Gruden.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
We see Gruden out here, but what's he like in the QB meetings? Is he a little more subdued there? Is it that same manic energy?
No, he's the same. He's very energetic. I've had people, come up to me and be like, "What was he yelling at you about in the meeting room?" I said, "Oh, nothing. We were talking about good things." He just is energetic all the time, and that's just him. He is so passionate about the game of football. I don't think anyone can be mad at that. I don't think anyone can get mad at that. So when he demands from you, when he encourages you, it's in the same tone every time. So I think that's what we respect about him, is that he never changes. He's not going to be this way, and then the next day or next week or next year he's going to be this way. Like I said earlier, for 5 years he's been the same person every time I see him. Even in between these last 5 years when I see him, he's talking about protections, or he's talking about a coverage, or hey, did you see this new blitz, or it never changes.
Derek, you made it clear that you'll never get into another man's business transactions.
Yeah.
But can we assume that you've been in contact with Khalil Mack and that that you're really eager to get him back, and any idea when that might happen?
Oh, of course. I think it's fair to say we would all love to have Khalil here. That's, if I tried to answer it politically correct and all those things, we all know that we want him back. I think everyone feels that in our whole building. We all know that. When it comes to how things are done and all that, I don't go to that, but I have been in contact with him. He's my brother. We came in the same class. We're going to leave together someday, those kind of things. And, I'm fully confident, with where Khalil's at, with where our team's at. And obviously we want him back, but again, I try not to step into that. He was over at the house and we didn't talk about it one time. We played pool basketball and I dunked on him. So.
Is this the deepest receiver corps since you've been here?
You know what? I would say yes, because even the undrafted guys, we came in for the pre-camp, and Coach Gruden told me, he said, if you see something audible, I don't care. They gotta play. They gotta know. We're audible and changing stuff, doing these things with undrafted rookies that you would think they're just trying to learn where to line up. What's a so-and-so route, and we're audible in doing those things. They're on it. They win on their routes. Now, obviously they have a lot of work to do. They're not all pros or anything like that, but they all have a chance to be very extremely helpful players. So it'll be fun to watch those guys battle every day.
Today we saw Whitney make some catches. What do you see from him last year and his growth till now?
Yeah, he's definitely more confident once you break the huddle. When last year as a young guy, terminology, it's tough, man. It's tough for everybody. But having that year to learn, he played a little bit for us. I actually threw him a deep ball against, I think it was the Giants. Just the fact that I even threw it to him, let him know, hey, man, if you're in there, we got to play, And so I think that little confidence, you can tell this year, he's kind of I got this. I know what I'm doing. And so as long as he can keep those mental errors down, because his speed, his athleticism, it's elite, man. He's fast. He can go. He can do certain things. He can run all the routes. I think for him, it's just the mental side of things, man. I just got to make sure he's on top of every assignment. He can handle it. He just has to prove it every day.
Derek, it seems like Amari always comes back to training camp a little bit bigger, a little bit faster. What are your expectations for him this year, and just what have you seen from him through mini camp?
I feel like he came into his rookie year at 16 years old, so he comes back bigger and faster every year. And it's like, hey, Coop, hey, man, chill out a little bit, don't get too big, move you to running back or something. But, no, I don't know what else to say about him. He's awesome, he's healthy, he looks great, he feels great. You see him catching balls and finishing all the way down to the goal line. He's practicing on scoring long touchdowns and things like that. And I think that some of that stuff that Jordy brought, some of that stuff Martavis brought, just learning from other guys. We have a whole staff of coaches that have come in and taught me different things that other guys did and all of these things, and guys that worked with Peyton and Andrew Luck and all of it. I can go on and on, but anyone who comes in, you learn something oh man, that's pretty awesome, I want to add that. And so I think the same things happen for Coop, where he's come in better, stronger, he's always in shape. He takes this seriously, but he's also learning some things mentally and some things practice-wise that can help.
Speaking of Jordy, looks like you've been throwing something for the last 5 years. How easy has it been to build a rapport with that guy?
It's been nice. And, honestly, it was so funny. When we first started, every route's on air. His route was the only one I would mess up, and then we'd go to a team drill or something, and we'd hit it perfectly. And he's just a guy, when it clicks, man, now it's a little different, but we spent some time in the off season. But, now when you get out there on the practice field, he's just a guy that it's easy to throw to him because he's open. Like I said, there's some guys that are good at running some routes, but guy will be there, they're just strong at catching the ball or whatever. He just gets open, and he is a great route savvy. He's very smart. He's always constantly on the coaches. Yell the coverage out. I need to know my adjustment. He's pushing the envelope that way as well. So, again, I can't say enough good things. I can't believe Green Bay let him go, but I'm glad he's here.
Well, Khalil, obviously not here. Bruce is. What did you make of his practice? And on the topic of Fulton, what do you think that does for Fulton to go up against him as a veteran?
Oh, man, yeah, just to go against Bruce every day. Bruce, they tell Bruce, go get the quarterback, he's playing DN, we know that. And for Bruce to do that is scary for opponents. So for Colton to see that every day, that's going to make him work. You know, Bruce has a similar skill set to what Vaughn can do, and some of the other guys can do in our division. So it's good for Colton to see, get a taste of that. You know, try and lock that up as hard as it is. Bruce is a great player. He's one of the best, I think, in the league. We've talked about our division and pass rushers all the time, but to see that every day, and then Bruce, man, he's awesome. I remember when when he was a free agent, I was begging him, please get this guy, like please, like he is awesome. You know, if they asked me his opinion of him, I was a huge fan of his, even since West Virginia. So, I love Bruce, and I think that he's a great player. He's gonna have a great year.
A couple more questions, guys.
Talking about, Colton versus Bruce. Can the same be said with you and John versus Paul Gunther and what he throws at you? Is that challenge a benefit to you? I know you're trying to learn the system, but is that a benefit having a guy like that against you every day? I'm telling you, one of the first things Coach Gruden said to us in the meetings, he said, every day we're going to have to earn our completions. I mean, that usually you can go play a team and, say, oh man, well they play a certain way, we can throw this all day, boom, 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 and you go 20 for 25 and move on, Against this guy, he doesn't give up anything for free. You have to earn everything. And the just mental side of things for me and Coach Gruden to go against him, try and figure him out, try and gut him, try and give him a bad night's sleep, make his meal taste a little worse at lunch. That's what we're trying to do every day. And I just love that mentality. Coach Gruden is on me all the time. And, instilling that, I feel just like I want to kick Coach Gunther's butt every day, I think he wants to embarrass us as well, And so that little rivalry, that little work is the same. But you'll see us all three at dinner together. It's we're a team, but definitely helps us come the season, man. Ask any quarterback in the NFL. Coach Gunther is one of the best in the NFL, and it's not even close. He gives you the most problems. He presents the most challenges. He makes you think more than anybody. He's one of the best, and I'm glad he's here.
With this new coaching staff, what do you think is possible for this season?
Oh, hey, we just want to win. What's possible, anything is possible, right? Who would say that? Kevin Garnett, he said that? Kevin Garnett said that. Anything is possible. So, we just want to win. I don't ever predict anything. I don't do that. And honestly, I don't care what anybody else has to say, because at the end of the day, me and Coach Gruden are going to go into our office, we're going to study, we're going to come out here, give it our best, and he's going to go correct me. And as long as we can get better, I think that we can do some really good things.
Last question, guys.
Derek, what are some of the things you worked on this offseason to help elevate your game to where you feel it should be?
Oh, so I always have a list of things. Once the season ends, obviously I'd never share it, but once the season ends, that coaches give me, Coach Gruden, we sit down, watch every mistake, interception, fumble, bad play, bad decision, and we talk about all those things. So a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is mental stuff on the film. What happened here? Why did this happen? Was it something you didn't talk about at practice? Was it something that you didn't at lunch mention that you were going to get to, this check or whatever? Whatever it was. Was it your footwork? Was it this? And I have a list of those things. And as I hit the off season, I train. We have drill work. Coach Callahan, Coach Olson, they give me that, hey, do these drills. This is the best thing for you. Those are the drills I do. The routes and things I need to throw better, Coach Gruden tells me, hey, this was an area that you need to throw better. I'm throwing 1,000 of them, Try and master those. One thing I learned about Peyton Manning, he's really not into going out and throwing 300 different routes. I'm going to throw 2 routes if I have to, but I'm going to throw it 300 times. I'm going to master it. And so just learning that, I think Peyton's one of the best, and, just learning that from him was really cool too.
Last one right here, Matt.
How often did you actually meet up with receivers and tight ends while you guys were off? And was it more than the previous seasons?
Oh, definitely more. Which is really nice. And a lot of the guys, they live other places, and I am not one to take anyone from their family, because I would not do that. So, I don't like doing that. But a lot of guys stayed close, and we had 2 spots where we had really 3 spots where Connor was working, EJ was working, I was working, and we had different guys in those areas where we were working with them. And so I would say that we were just more calculated. We were more on top of reaching everybody, making sure we worked with everybody, making sure we were still pushing the envelope. To play here is not easy mentally. To play here in this system, it's not easy. And so you can't go a whole summer break and not talk about it, or else you're going to show up and be lost on day one. And so we saw our guys today. We were checking some things. We were making certain calls that you usually don't make until day 4, and we're doing. But it's good to see that we have to. we're already behind. We haven't been together but a couple months, and so we had to do those things. So we definitely worked hard together. The guys bought into spending some time with us, and then we played some golf too, so that was good.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you all.